Did you have something very strict or like very Australian thing? In your country, what kind of bad kids do you have?
So in London, we actually started to have postcode rivalry. I'm not sure if you guys have postcode. Yeah, so
Hello everyone, how you guys going? 皆さんご機嫌いかがでしょうか？今日も可能性無限大 This is タロサックということで、今日の動画では海外の校則は日本とは全く違うって本当？というテーマでやっていきたいと思います。どこの学校にも基本校則ってあるじゃないですか。もちろんね、学校によって違うと思うんですけど、いろいろあると思うんですよ。髪は黒のみ、女子のスカートは膝丈、眉毛はいじったらダメ、部活は強制、下校時は図書館以外立ち入っちゃダメとかね。実際に日本で教師やってる友達聞いてみたりとか、ググってみたりしたところ、これすごいなっていうのが結構あって、今日はそんな日本の校則が存在するというのを外国人がしたらどんなリアクションをするのか、それから世界にはどんな校則が存在するのか、こういったところですね、インタビューしていきたいと思います。僕のチャンネルでは外国人へ様々なトピックに関してのインタビュー動画を毎週配信します。見るだけで頭の中がグローバル化すること間違いなし。面白いと思ってもらえた方はぜひチャンネル登録よろしくお願いします。タロサックの公式 LINE では18歳まで英語力全くのゼロ、全然喋れなかったところから今英語を流暢に話せるようになった僕がすごく大事な英語の勉強方法とかモチベーションの保ち方など資料にして動画にして無料で皆さんにプレゼントしてますので、英語を話せるようになりたいなと思う方は概要欄のリンクからタロサックの公式 LINE 友達追加よろしくお願いします。今日の動画のスポンサー紹介させてください。こちらデンマーク発の腕時計ブランドオリバーグリーン。デザインもねもちろんすごくかっこいいし、時計としての質もすごく高いんですけど、なんと商品1万円台からありますので、ぜひですね気になる方は概要欄のリンクからチェックしてみてください。ということで早速いきましょう。Thank you very much for your help, guys. Where are you from?
Sydney, Australia.
Sydney, Australia?
Sydney, Australia.
Today I've been asking people about school regulations. Each country has a different school regulations, I reckon. So, in Japan, I would say there are many school regulations when you go to junior high school and then high school, such as everyone has to have black hair, girls have to wear skirt, which has to cover up your knees, and you have to belong sports clubs. It really depends on the school, but basically something like that. Do you have school regulations like that in your country?
No, not to like the extent where you have to like change the color of your hair.
Nah.
You're allowed to wear pants as a female.
Oh yeah?
There's like different options around school uniforms.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think they're pretty open-minded to like, even if you want to color your hair red or blue. Like,
oh yeah?
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna ask, because some people have a black hair, some people have a brown hair, but no one has a blue hair, red hair, right?
Yeah.
Can you do that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah?
Not in the school I went to. I went to a Catholic school. You couldn't have like pink or blue. I had pink and
Okay,
green.
I went to a public school, so we were allowed.
Did you have something very strict, or like why do we have this in our country, or very Australian thing? Do you have something like that?
In our country, I think it's dependent on what type of school. Like I went to a Catholic school,
Yeah.
so they were very religious. So yeah, we did have to cover our knees, and we didn't have to have black hair, but you had to have natural looking color hair. So it couldn't be pink or blue. Like it just had to be natural looking.
Yeah.
We couldn't have fake nails, but if they were skin color, and if they were natural looking, that was okay.
All right. How about makeup?
Makeup, again, natural looking. So like if it didn't look like you were wearing much, then you wouldn't really get in trouble. But if you wore a lot, you'd get in trouble. Yeah. But I went to a really strict school.
All right.
Like the school I went to, you're allowed to wear makeup and stuff like that.
All right. Right. So last question is gonna be like this: unless you go to like super good private school or something, it really depends on the school. But I went to public school, and you see some bad kids. Maybe not attending school, or like kind of like a street fighting kids sort of thing. Did you have someone like that? And what kind of bad kids exist in Australia?
Oh.
We were those kids.
Really?
She might have.
We turned out all right. Yeah. Yeah, there was definitely like the school bully. School bully, yeah. But they were like reprimanded pretty heavily. So like it was basically either a suspension or expulsion. So
Right. Thank you very much. That was interesting.
Thank you.
Thank you. Enjoy your day.
You too.
Where are you from?
I'm from Colorado in the States.
Oh, United States?
Yeah.
How about you?
I'm from London, United Kingdom.
Today I want to ask you guys about school regulations in your country. In Japan, we have a regulation such as you have to have black hair, you have to wear school uniform, and usually girls' skirt have to be longer than, or covering up your knees. You have to belong sports club, you can't drop in when you go home, anywhere or something like that. Did you have any of these rules in your country?
No, the school that I went to, you could wear whatever you wanted.
Oh, yeah?
I think
No
there were
school
times no school uniform, and there were times I had pink in my hair,
Really?
and purple in my hair. And so there wasn't any restrictions. You could do sports if you wanted to. You didn't have to.
Okay.
So yeah, there's a lot of freedom in where I went to school.
That's interesting. How about in UK?
So the school I went to, I also was allowed to wear whatever I wanted.
Yeah.
And yeah, when I was about 11 years old, I dyed my hair sort of like a brown, light blonde.
You can do anything.
You
so,
can.
Because I was gonna ask, in a Western country, people have different hair colors. Some people have a black hair, some people have a brown, blonde, but nobody has a pink and green. But you could do that too.
Yeah, you could do whatever color you wanted.
Yeah, it was allowed. I don't know if I'll be brave enough to do that, but to do pink and green, but I did like a light blonde.
How about like beards and stuff? Beards and mustache in high schools and stuff?
Yeah, you're allowed to wear beard in high school, and I actually had a friend in high school who had dreadlocks that was behind his legs.
Really?
Back of his legs, yeah.
Really?
Very, very long dreadlocks.
Do you remember you had something very strict and you were like wondering why do we have this?
Yeah, so in English secondary school, we did actually have a uniform. We had a black blazer, white shirt, black tie with stripes, black trousers, and school shoes, very formal shoes, okay? And what we wasn't allowed to do by any means necessary, we wasn't allowed to wear trainers or sneakers, as they'll say.
Oh, really?
We was not allowed to do that, but we did that anyway.
You did that anyway. I like that. I like that. I'm from very countryside in Japan, and there were, how do you call it, ferals? Like the kids don't listen to people and kind of involved in the street fights and stuff like that. Bad kids, we say, bad kids. One of my friends, Pokemon Greens got stolen by one of the bad kids too. In your country, what kind of bad kids do you have? I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but Japanese people's image about America. America's pretty wild sometimes. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Can be. I'm trying to think again back to when I was in school. The bad kids would be the kids who would go across the street and they would smoke and
smoke what?
Smoke.
Okay.
Kids who would maybe like take permanent marker and write on the walls in the bathroom, things like
graffiti
that.
Yeah.
There's always fights. I think in high school in general, probably wherever you're at.
Is it common to like high school kids try a bit of a smoking stuff like that? Is it common?
I would say that's the age, where it's most common.
Definitely, yeah. That's the age when you start to experiment.
Lots of people do that.
In London, yeah. That's what I know, yeah.
How about in London?
Yeah, so in London, we actually started to have postcode rivalry. I'm not sure if you guys have postcode. Yeah, so my postcode growing up when I was going to secondary school, you guys call high school, mine was Southeast 23. And
that sounds cool. Southeast 23.
Yeah, it's Southeast 23, but we had a problem with the Southeast 15.
Wow.
So that's and then our school had an amalgamation of different people from different postcodes. So in school, things could get a bit hairy.
Really?
Yeah, there'll be fights with, say, like Lewis. Lewis is from Southeast 15, and he wants to fight Andre, and Andre is from Southeast 23.
Wow.
So that's the naughty kids I had.
Wild.
Yeah.
I like that. Right. Thank you very much, guys. That was so interesting.
Have a good day.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, take care.
Where are you from?
I'm from England.
I'm from Buenos Aires, Argentina.
Today I've been asking people in Bondi Beach about school regulations. Could you have a beard like that in your school?
Yeah, we can have a beard in school. Yeah.
I think it depends. I remember like going to a private school in primary.
Yeah.
And we had the uniform.
Yeah.
And the hair had to be relatively short.
Relatively short? Yeah.
Yes. And then in secondary school, it used to be like plain shirts. You couldn't wear like a, hippie.
Okay.
Colorful
graffiti t-shirt, yeah.
Pretty much like uniform-wise, no?
Uniform, yeah.
Yeah. What else? What?
Because Japan's not really diverse country. They're Japanese people,
Yes.
Everyone has a black hair. But in your country, I reckon everyone has a different hair colors, and everyone's different. People have black hair, blonde hair, but nobody has green hair, pink hair. Could you have a pink hair, green hair in your school?
Yeah, you can. You can dye your hair.
Okay, no problem at all?
No problem, no.
I think in secondary school, you could do it.
In your country, did you have something that makes you feel like, hey, why do we have this in my country? Like, this is so British thing, this is so Argentinian thing. Like, did you have some specific rule that makes you think like that?
Well, we used to sing the anthem 8 a.m. every morning.
Yeah, every morning, yeah.
So, it was a nice moment, but for late sleepers like me, we used to squeeze. Downstairs was like a big soccer field, and handball field. We would escape there and play soccer in the air. After maybe a couple of months, the head of the school found out, and then they completely banned us from doing that because the whole school was coming down.
But that's how Messi is born, though. That's
Exactly.
yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah. I have to go and play soccer.
How about you?
Yeah, I remember now we couldn't wear jewelry, like couldn't wear too much jewelry. Yeah.
Oh, right.
So like girls could have like two earrings.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Last question is gonna be like this. There are always, I don't know if it's a right term, feral, like bad kids, kind of like, you know, getting involved in street fights and maybe like taking and stuff like that. Not in Japan much, but
In England, yeah, a lot.
oh well, yeah,
Lots,
like even like high school kids and
Yeah.
All
Like,
right.
People smoke.
what sort of like bad kids did you have?
Of course, smokers.
Smokers, yeah.
So in Argentina, yeah, at least when I grew up, like it was like late 90s, like we just drank alcohol.
Drunk
So we
alcohol
were so bad with that.
in school.
Yeah, I would buy the small like vodka bottles and just like kill it before just going to a nightclub. I remember going drunk into a class and the teacher saw me like this and like, I fucked it up.
Thank you very much, guys. Thank you, legend. Where are you from?
China.
Today, I want to ask you guys about school regulations. In Japan, like when you go to junior high school or high school, we have a regulations like you have to have a black hair in school, or you can't have a beard and mustache. Maybe the girls' skirt have to be covering your knees, and you have to belong sports clubs in school or whatever. So many things. Did you have any of these kind of regulations in school in China?
Sort of. We have to keep our hair in the way the school told us to. For example, cut your hair in a short way. Boys had to cut your hair short, and girls could only like tie your hair at the back or whatever.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah.
You can't have a long, like boys can't have a long hair?
Yeah.
The length of the hair cannot go over your finger if you put a finger on the head.
How about like dyeing hairs, like bronze and...
No. The teacher will like cut you in bold.
Really?
No, that's not allowed.
Do you remember like some regulations that you think, well, this is too much, or like why do we have this in China?
Probably the school uniform.
School uniform?
Yeah.
What do you mean, like you had to wear school uniform or?
No, I mean like I'm alright with wearing school uniform. It's actually a different topic. I'm just saying that Chinese school uniform looks ugly.
You just didn't like it?
Yeah.
We just don't like it.
And the other rules is not allowed to having like girlfriends, stuff like that. Because
That's interesting.
you know, it's like Chinese people thinks that when you're having love with some people or whatever, it affects your education stuff as well. Like you can't learn or whatever, stuff like that.
Yeah, probably some people think in that way, but yeah, it depends on the person. But yeah. We sometimes have like youngster kids sometimes in school. You know, senpai.
Oh yeah,
Senpai is like older.
Someone older than you and stuff like that.
Yeah, so in my senpai, people like wearing school uniform like crazy, very roughly, and also like kind of involved in street fights and stuff. What kind of like bad kids do you have in school?
We do actually. They cut their pants, make them shorter, but look cool maybe.
Make them shorter?
Yeah.
Oh really? We
Yeah.
made them longer.
Oh really?
Yeah, like really wide and longer. Yeah.
Well, we make it shorter. They must show the knees like
Really? That's so
ankle,
interesting.
something like that.
Thank you very much, guys.
No.
Thank you for your help.
Yep.
いやー、面白いですね。海外は割と自由ですね。海外のやんちゃキッズの話面白くなかったですか？個人的にはロンドンの郵便番号ライバルの話が好きでしたね。それにしても海外はこうやんちゃな若者は学生の段階でこうなんていうんですか、メディスン系にこう手を出しちゃうというか、そういう人も結構いらっしゃるみたいですね。ダメですね。本当に人間やめますか、YouTuber になりますかということで、皆さんもですね、ぜひですね、自分の学校にこんな独特な校則ありますとか、こんなのありましたという方がいらっしゃったら、ぜひコメント欄に書いていただけたらなと思います。冒頭でも紹介したタロサックの公式 LINE では18歳まで英語力全くのゼロだった僕が、どうやってねここまで英語を話せるようになったのかなど、勉強方法とかこれだけは知っていてほしいという知識など、無料で配信してますので、ぜひですね英語を話せるようになりたいと思う方は、概要欄のリンクからタロサックの公式 LINE 友達追加よろしくお願いします。海外には確かにいろんな髪色した人がいるから、茶髪でもいいんだろうな、金髪でもいいんだろうなとか思ってたけど、何緑色でもいいの、髪色ピンクにしてもいいのとか、中国のやんちゃキッズは何腰パンに土管ズボンじゃなくてむしろ切って短くしちゃうんだとか、なんかこの動画1本見ただけでいろんな世界のこと分かっちゃったんですけど、もっといろんな人にこの動画おすすめしたいと少しでも思っているあなたがそこにいるのであれば、給食の時間にタロサックの動画流していいか先生に聞いてみてよ。最後まで見てくれて皆さんありがとうございます。面白いと思ってもらえた方はチャンネル登録忘れずに、高評価も忘れずに、また次の動画でお会いしましょう。バイフォーナウ。